Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of True History of the Silver Screen. I'm your host, Matt. We've brought you Billy the Kid, we've brought you James Dean, but tonight's topic will be electrifying. So tonight we're in downtown Colorado Springs, also known as Olympic City, USA. We're going to talk about the 2020 film, Tesla. Why don't you join us? All right, so overall, the movie Tesla, my review is, it's a good movie, but it's also weird at the same time. There was a lot in the movie that made no sense because some of the props were not around at the time of when Tesla was around. You see them on computers, and you also see Edison kind of flipping through a smartphone, which didn't exist. Probably one of the funnier parts of the movie, they do say that it was untrue, like they just threw it in there. Him and Edison get into a fight with like McDonald's ice cream cones. And one of the more extraordinary fantasies in this movie was when Ethan Hawke, depicting Tesla, busted out with "Everyone wants to rule the world." All right, so we're going to go over the acting in this movie. We're going to start with Ethan Hawke, who played the role of Tesla. Ethan Hawke, as you may know, played the role of Pat Garrett in the movie The Kid. He did a very good job, in my opinion. I mean, like I said, it's very hard to say based off of Tesla. It was so long ago, we really don't have too much to go on who Tesla was as a person, film-wise. So now at this point, we're going to jump into some of the actual history that this film does hold true. Actress Sarah Bernhardt was portrayed accurately to a point. The reports of her sleeping in a coffin were true. We do know this. When she met with Edison in 1880, she did a recording on the phonograph, but of what, we're not quite sure. So it is rumored that her and Tesla kind of crossed paths. She dropped the handkerchief at his feet. He went down, picked it up, and handed it back to her without really even recognizing her, and continued on with his conversation. As seen in the film, Tesla's business dealings with Westinghouse are accurate. All right, so during the time Westinghouse was having some financial struggles, a lot of people around him were telling him, go ahead and drop Tesla. But it was purported that Tesla is the one who ripped up the contract, though the bid to provide electricity for the Chicago Expo was not hanging in the balance. All right, so in the movie Tesla, we do see an execution of an inmate by the name of William Kimler. William Kimler was charged with the execution of his wife, which he murdered her with a hatchet. So in the movie, during the execution, it shows the first time a state used the electrocution method. All right, so during this execution, Kimler was delivered a 700-volt electrocution shock. It only lasted 17 seconds as it failed. During the execution of Kimler, witnesses described the smell of charred skin and burnt clothing. However, at the time, Kimler was still alive. With the failed first attempt, they had to go for a second charge. This time they delivered voltage of 1,030 volts. This lasted for 2 minutes, and witnesses also described at that time seeing smoke coming out of his head. So once William Kimler finally succumbed to this horrific electrocution method, the autopsy that they performed on him showed that the electrode hooked up to his back had burned through his spine. So in the movie Tesla, the way they portrayed J.P. Morgan was accurate. So J.P. Morgan did indeed invest $150,000 in Wardenclyffe, but he did cut Tesla off once he felt the experiments were going nowhere. All right, so we're here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, at the Colorado Pioneer Museum. we had a discussion with one of the historians that works here, about the massive blackout that, Tesla created, the widespread panic, how much fear was involved, and we were told it actually was nothing more than an overloaded generator, and it was very, kind of minute, not as big as one was said to believe. And this is where you can kind of get those mythos about a person started. One of the questions that comes up from the movie was, was Nikola Tesla's factory out in the plains? Most depictions, including in the Prestige, the factory is shown up in the mountains. So actually, yes, we're going to tell you that Tesla's factory was out here in the plains, as depicted in the movie. However, although it was out here in the plains, just a little bit to the west, the gorgeous mountains of Colorado, the Rocky Mountains. Right, in fact, I'm standing right where, back then, the laboratory once stood, right here at the corner of Foot and Kiowa in Colorado Springs. And if you want to know how we know that this is where the laboratory once stood, check out our episode on Abandoned Colorado. Alright, welcome back, guys. Hope you enjoyed our episode here about Tesla. If you'd like to catch more about True Stories of the Silver Screen, click the link right here. More about us here at Cool's Paranormal, click the link right here. And as always, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. And don't forget to switch your notification bell from personal to all so you're notified on all of our great videos that we release. And have you seen the movie Tesla?
I did.
Put it in the comments below and let me know.